Hello everyone, this is Naomi from Naomi Books LLC, and tonight we are starting our first episode of Kid Author Connect. This is going to be a series of live interviews with children's book authors, and we're going to get to know a little bit about them and a little bit about their books and a little bit more about what they have to say to the world. This is going to be a very fun and interesting platform. We're going to do things a little bit differently. So the questions for the authors are coming from you, from the followers. So we're going to ask the questions that you want the answers to. So hello everyone. Hi Virtuous. Hi Sister Goose. Hi Ron. Hi Coach. I'm glad you're all joining us tonight. So today is Africa Day. It's a wonderful celebration that we're going to learn more about from our author tonight. I'm going to be introducing Nanku. She is a children's book author, and she wrote this book, I Celebrate My Skin. I've spoken to Nanku before on my first live, and we just talked a little bit about her inspiration behind the book. But tonight we're going to ask her your questions and find out a little bit more about her family, her passions, her purpose, as much as we can squeeze in. So I'm going to bring Nanku on now. And thanks again everyone for joining. She should be connecting in just a minute. There she is. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I am good. Thank you, Naomi. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited for our interview.
Yes. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited as well.
Yes, I'm happy that you're my first guest. And this is going to be the start of something wonderful, I believe.
Yes.
I really want this to be a great platform for authors to come on, and not in a marketing way, but in a personal way, and let us get to know each other. It's supporting each other and encouraging each other along the way. That's what you and I do in the Sister Authors.
Yes.
So we want to share that same spirit with everyone else, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
Let me explain our platform. We're going to have things a little bit different than other. Don't look scared. I saw your face. So it'll just be a little bit different, but I wanted it to be fun. So I really thought about it. I prayed about it. And I just wanted it to be relaxing and fun, informative, but good for you and also for all the people that are watching, right? So let's start and explain to us about Africa Day. Today is Africa Day. Tell us all about that.
Yes, definitely. And I'll be honest with you, Naomi, I don't remember celebrating it as much when I was at home. I feel like it's something I've been celebrating more now I'm away from home. So it's
awesome.
Some of you may know, I'm originally from Swaziland. That's where I was born. It's a small country, about 1 million-ish people. It's inside South Africa. And Africa Day is really, it's like when we formed, I think it was like in 1963, when we formed like the African Union.
I read that.
Yes. So like it just started like it was all about unity, embracing Africa as one unit. So then they have different themes each year that they celebrate. And I believe this year they are celebrating your heritage, arts and cultures. So just something that brings us together. We know Africa has different countries, but we want to think of the continent as a whole because we really share so many things, right? Like that are very similar, and we want to embrace each other as Africa, and hence Africa Day comes into place. And I celebrate it more now that I am not at home as much, and it's just, Africa has a lot for me. And I put a post today saying, I thank my mom for teaching us the African dream. And how we have an American dream. For me, an African dream is that hard work, that hustle, that feeling where you come from nothing and you just work hard to make something for your life and make it better for not just for myself, for the community, for everybody. And
that's beautiful.
So that's what Africa is for me.
I love that. I really love that. And you and I have spoken before. My family is moving to Africa. Tanzania. My son and their family are moving to Tanzania. So I'm excited about that. But what you just said is exactly what they feel in their hearts, that they want to bring with them, is that spirit of making
we are connecting issues. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, do I need to ask what kind of shirt you have on today?
Of
Do you
course.
do you have a shirt that looks a little like mine? Yeah.
I do. Yes. Dope
Yes.
and Black. Children's
Yes.
author.
Dope Black children's author. So,
Yes.
for those of you who didn't see our post earlier, the wonderful people at Dope Black Nation created these shirts for us. Dope Black children's author. They did have a Dope Black author shirt, but when I spoke to them, I just thought, well, we're a little different than just authors. We're children's authors. And they were happy to create this for us. So for any of you Dope Black children's authors out there, if you want your shirt, check my post. They're giving you a discount to purchase your shirt. We'd love to see it. Love for you to tag us if you're a Dope Black children's author. So that was special for us today. So thank you for telling us about Africa Day. And now we want to get to know you a little better. Yeah. So please tell us your full name.
Yes. So my full name is Nonkululego. I'm going to say the whole thing. My full name is Nonkululego Gunene Adumete. And Nonkululego means freedom. There's a story, but I want to dive into that. And I am from Swaziland. I am currently based in Chicago, and I left home when I was 16 years old. Actually, I got a scholarship to study in Canada, and I was there for a couple of years. And then after that, I just moved to the States, got college, and met my husband in college. And now here we are. I don't even know how many years later.
That's wonderful.
We're here in Chicago.
So you have a lot of experience to share. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So I was going to ask you where you lived, even though I know where you live. So tell everyone where you live.
I am in Chicago. I'm in Chicago. Yes.
And you have children. How many children do you have?
I have two little ones. My son is 4 years old, and my daughter, Skyla, is almost 2. She's 23 months, almost 2 years old. Yeah.
So you are busy, right?
It doesn't even begin to say. I was just telling you, I had a meeting right at 4:30, and I'm like, I have a 5 o'clock that I have to, be ready for. I'm just like, it's like this life of multitasking, right? Is that even efficient anymore, right?
Yes, I mean, you have a full career.
Yes,
you have your children, you have your home life, and you're a children's book author. That's a lot. That is a lot. So I applaud you. So one of the questions I wanted to ask you is, what is your favorite thing to do with your children? What's your favorite activity?
Oh my God. It varies. Recently, we started, so we love food. We're like a family of foodies, honestly. And I shared this actually, I think in one of my bios, I've put this out there, and this is really a true story. So when I eat some very good food, like I start humming, like seriously, like I just go, like I do something. I'm just like, I just experience the food and just like, be in me. And so like, it's a whole experience, right? And then my kids actually are like that. It's so funny.
Well, that's beautiful.
Seriously, when we eat and then it's like start eating, we don't have to ask them how is the food. We have to listen and we're like, there it is. Okay, food is good. if there's talking and there's no
it's
humming,
not good.
That is not good. So I really enjoy trying different foods with my kids because I see myself a lot in them, in how they express themselves. And that's a beautiful thing to do. I used to like to go on a lot of walks, just doing parks and stuff with them. But like now, actually, I sprained my ankle. So I've been kind of like taking
Oh, yeah, you told me about that.
Yeah.
Someone is asking about the name of your book. The name of the book is I Celebrate My Skin. I Celebrate My Skin. That's the name of the book. And we're going to get to it in just a moment. So we know what you like to do with your children. It kind of also is something that you like to do. My next question was, what is your favorite thing to do in your personal time when you're not with the children, when you just have time to yourself?
Self-care, Naomi, self-care. I love to just chill. Lately, I've been like, I started doing audiobooks because I haven't had time to read. So now I just try to like I take 30 minutes a day, like just relax, meditate or whatever. Just self-care where I am blank. My brain it's just blank for a minute.
Blank,
I can just like think about nothing for a moment. So like I enjoy meditation. I love introspection. So I like peaceful walks, anything that's just gonna like help me think and pause and just relate to how's my day, how am I doing, and everything like that. Just be in touch with how I'm feeling. So I love massages. Anything that just like allows me to be in that mode of relaxation, I love to do.
That's good. That's good. Well, that's healthy. That's healthy because when you're caring for yourself, then you have more ability, you have more to give, more capacity to give to others, to your family. Well, that's good. I just wanted them to get an idea of who you were as a person. I think that says a lot. That says a lot. So let's talk about your book.
Yes.
Again, it is I Celebrate My Skin. This is a hardcover book. Look at these beautiful illustrations.
Thank you, Naomi.
So let's see. Give us a quick summary of your book. Just a quick summary.
Yes. So the book is about embracing and loving the skin you have. And it talks about how we all have different skin. But at the end of the day, we are all just humans, right? We have a heart, we love, we care for others. So the book is really teaching kids that no matter how they look on the outside, their skin tone, however they look, it doesn't change who they are on the inside. You know, just like the rainbow, really all our skin colors blend to create something beautiful. That's why diversity is important. That's why diversity is a strength, because together we make the world a beautiful place.
That is beautiful. That's a beautiful message. And, you know, I must say, you know, I read your book already a few times, and I did review your book. Your summary, what you just said, is really reflected in these beautiful illustrations.
Thank you, Naomi.
Yes. And so one of the questions I wanted to ask the authors was to tell me why they love their main character. But in your book, there isn't a main character. All the children are equal in your book. So tell me why you love these children. Tell me why these children are so important.
Yes. Okay, so to start with, so we can start with the cover, right? Like I have my son, I have my daughter, that's my nephew. So I wanted to like have a couple of things, right? I wanted to have my kids. Yeah, that's my son with the olives there.
And let me point out, your son is hugging the child.
Yes.
And your daughter is looking in the mirror.
And she does that, actually. She really does that a lot. Yes. She will like kiss herself in the mirror. And then my niece is the one in yellow who's looking at herself and appreciating herself in the mirror. You know, like kids from a young age, you know, I think like, I don't know that the answers, right? But I believe that when you pump that information about self-love, about just having kids embracing and loving themselves just the way they are, like at an early age, Naomi, it becomes their thing, right? Like somebody comes outside and they tell you like, oh, something like outside of what they believe they are, you know, we talk about affirmations a lot, right? It won't affect them. And so
it doesn't, it doesn't get in. It doesn't get in. You're right.
It just bounces back. You know, and I it's so funny. Like I say this every morning to my kids, you are powerful beyond measure. And I start saying that and they just like start singing with me along. I want them to believe that every single day. And yes, so that they can be amazing little kids. And I have a whole story about why I chose those different illustrations. And everything is set at home. Most of the pictures actually are from Swaziland. It's like a game reserve in the country, that waterfall. Yeah, there's a whole story with each and every picture that I chose.
That's beautiful. You're getting a lot of comments here about the beautiful illustrations.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes. A lot of people are making those comments. Okay, so that's wonderful. Now, your message was very clear in your summary, but I do want to ask you, so what are 2 things that you want children to know from your book? What are 2 things you would like them to remember from your book?
I'd like them to remember that we are all different. We're not going to be the same, right? We are all going to be different. We're going to look different. You know, somebody might be in a wheelchair. Somebody might be darker. They might be the same race, but they will be all different skin, even in the same family, right? You look at my son, my daughter, my husband, everybody has a different shade of skin. We are all going to come very different. But that shouldn't matter, right? Because yes, I may look different on the outside, but on the inside, I am just a human. I want to be loved. I want to love myself unconditionally. I want to feel all these different things, right? So two things. You asked me two
Yes.
things today.
Two things that you want children to always remember from your book.
I want them to remember that there's going to be difference. There's going to be diversity. We are not going to have the same people, right? And that's okay.
It's okay.
Because that's the beauty of this world. That's how we learn from each other. That's how we grow. That's how we are able to be together. Because if we are the same, then what fun is the world going to be? So we need to embrace that difference and love it, because it's going to be there. It's going to be always be there. We have to, it's there. See it, accept it, and then embrace it.
Yes.
That's three things, but that's
okay. That's good. Those are beautiful messages. And I think those are messages that they can remember and they will remember.
Yeah.
You know, from the words of this book and the illustrations. They're amazing. They're amazing. So let me ask you, Nanku, was this a long-held dream of yours, or was it a recently growing dream, a desire to create a book?
Honestly, it wasn't in my plan at all. I was laughing. I'm working on my second book. I'll talk about that later.
Yes.
And I was reading it last night. I stayed up late. I've been staying up late lately, and I was reading it, and I was just like thinking, my goodness, I didn't even realize this was my passion. I didn't even have the idea that this is something I wanted to do, but I just love it. I just love it.
You can tell. You can tell.
A lot of circumstances got me to be a writer, to be where I am. I think, like sometimes when you go through the hardest things, like the most pain, I think it just kind of molds you to be the best version of yourself. Because I think for me, when I lost my dad, that was my hardest thing. And it somehow opened me up to dig deep, to heal, to find myself. And that's why I wrote these books, because I want young people to look at themselves in the mirror at 3 years old and say, I am magnificent. Yes. I can do anything. At 5 years old, at 10 years old.
Yes.
And imagine how much of the world, how much we can do in this world when we all have that, when we live to our full purpose, to embracing who we are. I think there's so much value in that. That's why I am like, I love being a children's book author, and it's like, an amazing dream. And I'm so glad that it found me through the hardest experience. And I'm going with it because it's making me happy,
Yes, and I can tell that. I think that's easy to see.
Yeah.
And that's that's part of the reason I wanted to do the interview in a little bit different way, not just focusing on marketing. I mean, sales are great, but we're people, children's book authors, we're real people, and we have a real heart for children, and we have a message for them. I know. So, I mean, you're a beautiful person on the inside and on the outside, and I want people to see that. I want people to see that.
You're amazing, Naomi. Thank you so much.
It's true.
I appreciate everything you do. Yeah.
Oh, sure. So one of the questions, the nice thing about this platform is that our followers are orchestrating the questions. So these are questions that they want answers to, right? Mm-hmm. So one of them was, who or what inspires you? But you spoke a little bit about that, but do you have someone or something specifically in mind that inspires you?
I would say definitely my father. I think I was always daddy's girl. Like I look at my daughter and my dad, my husband, how he's the world, right? I now understand how my dad, right, viewed me. It's just an interesting comparison. But my father has always very humble beginnings, right? And he was like a little, I don't want to say crippled, but he had an accident at some point. Okay. And so his legs were not the same height. Okay. And so he will walk funny to balance it out. It was just like a thing that happened. And I never from when we were young, he's always walked like that. Naomi, but he was a small business owner. He was a welding, he will create those. He had honesty. He was very honest, very hardworking. We didn't have a car growing up, so we walked everywhere. Yes. And he will walk miles and miles just to get to his work, like those gates, when you make those metal gates, old fences like that, he will make things, right? So like sometimes he will carry those things, like he's going miles to the next customer to sell those things, right? But he wanted to give us an education. Like, he saw the world in us, right? He saw everything in us. And taking that determination, that love, and that work ethic, that's been, that's been my dream, that's been my vision. I remember from a young age, I was just always driven to do the best, to learn, to like excel in everything I did. I laugh about this sometimes. Like, I don't even remember. Like, I remember one time I don't know what grade I was in, and I was trying to create water in a desert. Like I was doing some science experiment to see like how I can create water in a desert so that we can have more what do you call this? We can have more water resources, like fresh water for people. Like, I was just always like driven and looking for solutions to make my village, my home, a better place. And
a better place.
My father inspired a lot of that. And it's not surprising that his passing, when he passed away, that also ignited a certain vision, a certain direction in my life that I never thought possible, right? Yeah, like
that's beautiful, Nanku. That is. So he really left quite a legacy, and legacy isn't always things that you take from your hand and put in someone else's hands. Legacy is in here.
It's the wisdom, it's more than that. It's the respect, it's everything that comes with that. That's what you pass on. That's what you pass on. So then you see your father in your children, because you're passing on the wisdom and the values to your children. Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing we want in a children's book author. We want to pass that. That's the goodness that we want to pass on to children.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I love it. I love everything
somebody has a question. What would you say to kids who might have a book idea of their own on their mind? I guess it depends on the idea, right? Like,
what would you say? I would tell them not to let it go.
Yes, follow your heart.
Your heart. Yeah. And ask an adult that might be able to help them to actually develop it. It's like the message of my book, Johari the Great. I believe that all children have a gift within them just waiting to be discovered. It's up to us to help them discover it. So if a child has an idea and they want to write a book, that's up to us to bring that out, right?
Yes, that's up to us to nurture it, to allow them to even dream further, right? Yes.
Right. To get it out, to actually get it out. Yes. That was a good question. That was a very good
question. An amazing question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So now, speaking of questions, we are at the part of the interview where I have this little bag.
Gosh.
I'm going to reach into the bag. I'm going to ask you a question. This is a surprise to you and me. I don't know what question I'm asking. So, folks, this is one of the questions that you submitted. Well, you kind of answered this one already. What impact do you want your book to have on our children? Excuse me.
I just did an interview just recently, I think with Baltimore Times or something, and the guy asked me a similar question. Stacey Brown asked me a similar question, and he was the message that I want for my book, honestly. So many times, I think we don't talk about things, which leads to my second book. We don't talk. I remember growing up, we will see, like, there was a couple of our friends who went to church with the kids, like a couple of were albinos. I think they were twins. They were albinos, and we were told not to even say anything. Don't even like look at them. Like, we couldn't even touch them. I remember like even just asking them to like write. Like, it was like a thing, right? We're not allowed to talk. We're not allowed to explore. And so one thing I would like, something that can be taken away from my book, I want kids to ask the questions. We need to allow them to talk, allow them to ask. Sometimes I know kids ask the weirdest questions, or like questions like, you're embarrassing me now, little kiddo, right? But
it's okay.
Exactly. But I think we need to nurture that curiosity, nurture those questions. Why is that person darker than me? Why is this? Let's talk about it. Let's not just say just because let's talk about it. Let's embrace it. Let's normalize it, because It's beautiful. It's okay. Let's accept it and just allow it to be a norm, not a taboo. Like if
Right.
somebody has something, we're like, oh, how do I even say something? Right. Let's just talk about it.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that my book will allow the conversations. That's why I had the activities in the back, because I want
Right.
kids to
Yes, I
even
want to get
know,
to that.
right? I want the kids to know, my son was like, my friend is this color. Yes, like, right, let's talk about it. Let's talk
Yes, and
about
it's okay. Isn't he
yes,
beautiful? Aren't you beautiful?
yes,
Absolutely. So the
yes,
impact that you would want to have on children from your book is to just open them up to diversity, to
yes,
asking the questions and noticing the differences and being okay with it. This
yes,
was a good question. Good answer. Okay, we have one more for you.
oh God.
That one was easy.
I know, like,
Okay,
I see a lot of questions in the chat as well. But, yeah.
Okay, let's see. Now this one says, what's the most exciting thing that's happened to you since you released the book?
Oh my God, so many exciting things, honestly.
That's good.
Yeah, so many exciting things. Just one thing, or maybe three is my favorite.
One thing, the most
One thing.
exciting thing. It's
The
probably hard for you
most
to choose.
exciting things. I would say the most exciting things, and this will kind of incorporate a lot of kids, right? The most exciting things was hearing a kid read my book and enjoying it, right? Like
Yeah,
seeing their
that's a
expression,
great feeling.
like seeing their curiosity, seeing, just like watching them and touching, right? Touching it and reading it and just enjoying it. It was, yeah, I can't explain it. But I
Yeah.
think that's always like it actually makes me I tear up sometimes, like
Yeah.
when I like will watch it, like when the kid is reading my book, like I say, like if they record it or whatever, I'll watch it over and over because I'm just amazed, and I'm just grateful that I'm actually impacting that. I'm
The
part
child.
of that literacy for that child, and that
Yes.
on its own is just absolutely powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that. So I like that you answered the most exciting thing that happened to you wasn't anything material. It was you watching a child enjoy your book. That's really beautiful. Yeah,
Oh,
it's a beautiful feeling. There's nothing like it. Or if you see a child reading your book and they smile,
yes.
oh, that goes
Right.
straight to your heart. Oh my gosh, yes,
Yeah.
and you're right. It will make you tear up. It will. Well, that was good. You did good with the questions. Those were good
Oh,
questions.
thank you, Naomi.
So I'm asking each week, followers, you guys out there, you can always send me a question. I will include it. And hopefully we're going to be doing this on Tuesday evenings with different authors, and the questions will go in the bag, and hopefully one of your questions will be asked. So this is the part of the interview that I think is going to be my favorite part. And I call this a 30-second spotlight. So what I'm going to do is I have picked my favorite part of your book, and I'd like to read it for 30 seconds. Okay, I'm going to read it to the audience for 30 seconds. You're going to have to keep the time because I forgot to put my I forgot to put my timer here. But I know which pretty much what I have here. So again, this is I celebrate my skin. And I'm going to read my favorite part. I celebrate my skin. It's beautiful, just the way it is. We are all born with different shades of skin. Some people have light skin, ivory, cream, and almond. Others have medium skin, honey, olive, sand. Some of us have darker skin, copper, deep almond, umber. This is my favorite page. I celebrate my skin. It is the biggest organ in my body. During sharp and cold winter nights, my skin keeps me warm. When it is hot and sunny outside, my skin keeps me cool. When I take a deep dive in water, my skin protects the inside of my body. I celebrate my skin. Even though we all have different shades of skin, we share so many things that are the same. We all have eyes to see. I'm going to keep reading. I know I'm past 30 minutes, 30 seconds. Sorry, I like this part. We all have eyes to see, a nose to smell, a mouth to eat, sing, smile, and laugh. Okay, I'm not going to read it all. They have to buy the book to see the rest. But I love that part. I love that part. I chose that part because I just love the comparison you made to what the skin looks like, that we're all different and it's okay, but also what the skin does, the value that our skin has for our body. I thought that was beautiful. I love that part so much. That really touched me. So you're not just saying, hey, it's okay. Whatever color you are is okay. Your skin isn't just what you see. Your skin protects you. There's a purpose.
Yeah.
You know, it's all by God's design. So
Exactly.
well done. Well done. That was my 30-second spotlight. A little longer than 30 seconds. It's my show, right?
Yes, I love it. I love it.
Yes. So this was great. Now I'm going to end the interview the same way. So people out there watching, if you end up interviewing with me, I'm going to end with the final 4 questions, okay? All the time. The first thing I'm going to ask you is about your level of nerdiness. So you already know I'm a grammar nerd. I'm a book nerd. I'm a baking nerd. So what are you nerdy about? What kind of nerd are you?
I know. I'm actually a science geek. So I majored in biology, chemistry, everything. That's my thing, right? I love science. So yeah, like I love the body. So like it's so funny. Like so I talk about food, right? How I love food. And so when I eat dark chocolate, I always think, here I am eating this dark chocolate. All these flavonoids are just like boosting my skin and increasing circulation on my skin. So I take my biology into my food experiences. Like when I eat carrots, I visualize my eyes getting brighter. Like I just always
That is so incredible. I love it.
So yeah, that's really my nerdy thing. It has to be food, but definitely science related because yeah, I'm a science nerd. I'm all about
That's really good. That's very interesting. A lot of people don't know that. I went to culinary school. I think I told you I used to have a custom cake business. So one of the classes we had to take was food science. And there is a lot of science when it relates to food.
Yes, and
so that's very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so the second question of the final 4 is, what is your favorite movie?
So I'm bad with titles, you know, but I would say my all-time favorite movies is what's the name? I think it's like I can't think of a name. She did, oh my goodness, I can't think of a name. But the movie is like an old movie, Down with Love. Have you seen it?
Down with Love. I've never seen that.
Love. It was like a British setting, and and we just watched it with with my sisters. And so from that movie, we started calling ourselves Mama Novex because this I think it's like, I don't know, it's like a Zen, I can't think of a name, oh my god,
that's okay.
But like yeah, like we started calling ourselves Mama Novex from the movie, and ever since then we're just down with love. And
okay, so it's a British movie.
British setting, but I think it's American actors.
Movie. Yeah. Okay, I'll have to look that up because I haven't heard of that. My sister is she's a movie nerd, and she probably knows it.
Yeah.
And so what is your favorite book? One of the favorite books that you've read?
You know, honestly, I love empower books. Like I'm actually reading Bias right now. I would say, you know, since Africa Day, I do love Chinua Achebe, Things Fall Apart.
I'm familiar.
Good book, right? Yeah, I would say like, you know, that's
kind of self-empowerment books. Okay.
Yeah, like this one is more like African, you know, history. Like there's a Nigerian author, and he talks about the Igbo tribe and how the British colonized the Igbo tribe. And you know, I remember actually when we were growing up, it was part of our history, and we were learning to read his books, but his style of writing, his lyrical, like his poems, like the way he's just like an amazing writer, and yeah, very inspiring.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I recognized the name when you said that. I don't know why, but my daughter reads a lot of African historical books, so I might have heard it from her. I'll ask her. And then my last question for you, Nanku, is probably my favorite question. What is your favorite word? To say, to write, to hear. What is your favorite word?
Scrumptious.
Scrumptious. Of course, it has to do with food. That's a good one. I like that. That's a good word. Good adjective. I like that a lot. I like that. You were just such a delightful guest. I really, really appreciate it. I want to just make a couple more comments about this wonderful book. I highly recommend it. I have reviewed this book. You can look back on my page if you'd like to find out a little bit more about it. I see several comments here, Nanku, of people who are purchasing your book.
Thank you, guys.
I'm very happy to see that. But I do want to point out that in the back of the book, there are activities for you and your child to do together. Let me see if I can do this in a better way. Let me make sure. And then also there's, you send a couple of little goodies with the purchase of the book, right? I got a little bag. So there's some activities here relating to the colors. And I think there's about 4 or 5 different activities.
So yeah, it's just by
puzzle.
age. So there's a crossword for the older kids, just to learn some of the big terms that I use in the book. And then we'll also have the rainbow coloring, which my daughter loved it. It's very engaging for little ones. And then some affirmations, but like skin tone affirmations, and some rhyming at the back as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I love it. I think you've done a wonderful job. Your message is absolutely wonderful, positive, affirming for all children. And I want to stress, I mean, we are dope Black children's authors. However, that doesn't mean that we only write for Black children. I don't believe that only Black children should read our books. I mean, our books are for all children, because we are stressing that diversity is crucial in this world today. All children need to understand that they're not the only ones, they're not the better ones. That all children are valuable, all skin tones are valuable, all cultures are valuable and should be respected. So thank you, Nanku. Once again, I celebrate my skin. Any last words that you would like to have?
I will say thank you so much for this amazing opportunity. And I love the interview. I like the question. It was exciting, and there were so many surprises.
Good,
right? It really makes it a live effect. And thank you for taking the time. And to everybody who tuned in, I saw my cousin, actually, I think in South Africa. I see my friend in Swaziland have joined. Everybody who's able to join and listen to us, truly appreciate you taking the time. I hope you always embrace who you are. I always tell this in my head, and I tell everybody that there's only one you, there's only one me. And so you have to live it up to the fullest. You have to embrace yourself to the fullest. And we have to teach our children to also love and embrace themselves to the fullest, because you know what? They are the future, but they're only unique. It's just them. And so they need to embrace and know that at an early age. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Definitely.
Awesome. Thank you, Nanku. Thank you so much. And thank you, everyone. I appreciate all of the comments. You have a lot of encouragement here, Nanku. So many wonderful things about the book. And please follow Nanku on Instagram. You can follow me if you have any questions. And if you are a children's book author and you're interested in coming on and having an interview with me, please send me a message. We're actually booking up pretty quick, so that's a good thing. But this was all about getting to know the author. We're happy that you're purchasing the book, but it's not just selling the book. It's sharing the passion, sharing the message, spreading the love, and the appreciation for diversity. So thank you, Nanku.
Thank you, Naomi.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
All right, thank you.
Bye.